If you've ever gone through a friend fallout or unexpected breakup, you know it's really hard to recover. That dynamic is the focus of a brand new podcast that will be launching next week. And I'm joined this morning by the founder of the Best Friend Project, Rachel Joy Swardson. Good to have you here. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Alicia.
So what gave you the idea to start this podcast, this project?
Unfortunately, it was a very devastating and isolating best friend breakup, something I didn't expect or anticipate. And when it happened, it was so much worse than my divorce, because at least when you're divorced, you know other divorced people. So you kind of know what to do. And I had books on parenting, I had books on marriage, I had books on business. I had nothing to help me navigate this breakup. And it was like I had this question, I was so desperate to have answered, but far too humiliated to verbalize. And so the question was really, how do you make friendships work? And all the research that was out there was very conclusive in women with friendships are happier, they're healthier, they live longer. And I was like, happy for you. What if you don't have a best friend anymore and you really need to understand and process why?
Right, and especially at a certain age, I feel like people are set in their friend groups and set in their ways. And if you lose one of your best friends in a which way you lose them, it's really difficult to make new.
Yeah, it fractures the dynamic. And interestingly too, it seems like it's happening later in life. So you think you have all these friends, but you're really on the same team together, or you live in the same community. And then you kind of go through empty nesting, or you're maybe relocating. And you're like, wait a minute, what happened? Where did everyone go?
So explain how your project works.
So I took these postcards.
Okay.
And because I didn't want to post this on social media, I didn't want anyone to know I was going through this, but I was like, I'm desperate to figure it out. So actually, Reese Witherspoon had posted on her website or her social media, edit your friends. And I was like, did I just get edited? And right around that same time, her Shine Away event was happening. And I had worked up this survey, and I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, but it helped to do something.
Right.
And then I was like, I'm going to go to her event. So I went to her event, and I taped these all up in the bathroom stalls, and then I couldn't stop. They were in airport bathroom stalls, coffee bathroom stalls, the oil change place, like anywhere I could go. And thousands of women scanned and participated in this survey. And Alicia, they're sharing stories that they're processing things. They're like, I haven't thought about this friendship for years. Or the most heartbreaking is like, it's just been too much time, but and with all this reflection, I feel really bad. I might have been the one in the wrong, but I don't know how to even begin to reach out. So all these stories are coming forward, and they were so helpful to me that I was like, I need to put these on a podcast.
Essentially made a community of women who, is it just women?
It is, it is. It is now, but there's potential that phase 2 would be men. But bringing these stories from the survey into the podcast has just been so cathartic for me. And I just can't imagine, I've done 11 episodes already. If it's helped me this much, like I'm so excited for women out there that, because we're raised to think friendship is intuitive. We just know how to do it. And for some reason, it's easier for some people than others. And the survey really wanted to get to the heart of the matter, like, why are some of us better at friendships than others? And we have this work in romance. We've done this work to identify romance, and we go to therapy to work on our romantic relationships. We don't do friendship therapy. We haven't normalized that yet.
Right. That's interesting. Anything shock you from the survey results that you're like, wow, I never knew this?
Yeah, I mean, many things, but probably the most profound was the mother connection at a young age. So women with low mother trust that starts low and stays low are apt to rate themselves the best possible friend you could ever have. But they're also the same group that identifies betrayal as the #1 reason their friendships end. And they're most likely to ghost or be ghosted. So it's almost like all the love they didn't get from their mother or the most important women in their life, they've continued to chase in their friendships. They show up, they remember everything, they never forget a birthday, they always bring a gift. But when someone doesn't return that, they take it as an instant betrayal and a slight. And you're just, oh my gosh. And so, and so from the research, these 5 archetypes have emerged, and her archetype is what I'm drawing from. And I've given these 5 archetypes a name. So it's like, you can take the survey and then really identify, oh, this is how I am. And when you go out in the world knowing more about yourself, you feel more secure, you feel better. And the archetypes each have a name, like kind of Joseph Campbell-y, but I also assign them a color because I just think it's important to visualize and color psychology. And I assign them a metal because I just thought if you can feel like you could tangibly hold it, but also my daughter is a welder. And so it's a bit of an homage to her and all the things I wish I had known when I was raising a little girl that I now know now.
It could help so many folks
gosh.
like yourself. So the podcast comes out next week.
Yes.
How can people watch, download?
The Best Friend Project, wherever you get your podcast, and you can follow on the Best Friend Project, across social media, or Rachel Swardson as well.
Rachel, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Love the idea of this
Lisa.
whole thing. I'm going to have to listen for sure.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.